Exercising, whether it's running, lifting, or anything like that, shouldn't give you joint pain every time you do it. This might sound obvious, but for some people, this is the reality. Whenever they run, squat, deadlift, or something like that, their joints hurt afterwards. So why does this happen? A lot of times people like to blame the exercise. You know, you see this all the time, never squat, never deadlift for XYZ reasons. What I found to be the case a lot of times is you're missing range of motion in one of those joints that contribute to that movement. So take the squat, for example. So you need to adequately be able to pronate your feet, get into adequate knee flexion with tibial rotation and adequate hip flexion and internal rotation in order to sit in the squat. So if you're missing any one of these, the lack of movement in that area is gonna cause excess movement in a different area, and then that can just screw up the whole chain and then result in a painful joint. So what's the solution to this? So I think having a good lineup of joint rotations that you can revisit regularly just to check in and see how your body is moving in all sorts of areas is a great idea. So I'll just give you an example. So when you squat, your foot needs to be able to pronate and supinate. So if you perform some pronation and supination, keeping your full foot on the ground, making sure not to lose the heel contact and not gripping with your toes. If you can do this adequately on each side, and each side doesn't feel too different from the other, then you know you have adequate pronation and supination to be able to squat. So another thing you can do is a knee car to make sure you have enough rotation at the knees, because you know people think that the knee is just an up and down joint. It's not. It can actually rotate to the side too. So you'd want to do a knee car, which is a controlled articular rotation. So hold onto your thigh, rotate your tibia to the side, lift it up, rotate it back to the other side, and then just repeat that. So if one side feels a lot tighter than the other, it's a lot more difficult to do than the other, then you know you might need to work on that. So you can apply this concept to any movement. For example, if you've been having some shoulder pain during bench press, so like what joints are involved in the bench press? Wrist, elbow, shoulder. So it might be a good idea to go research some joint rotations for all of those different areas. So then you could run through all those movements and then you get a better understanding of your body and how you move and what you need to work on. So it would take me so long to go through every joint rotation just for the sake of this video, but at a high level, that's what you want to think about when you're doing this for yourself.